Hi guys, Ashley here, also known as the HB fan, and back today with a brand new video. And like I said, I was coming back with my topic video, so here I am. And this video is something that I wanted to talk about way before the Nikki Bella podcast video and Asia Lee, top 5 reasons why she's better than Nikki Bella, Nikki Bella, and Paige. This video is going to be on a teen drama. I decided to rewatch shows and just do like an analyzation of the show, talk about the characters, the pilot, the storylines, where I feel like it might have gone downhill or became uninteresting. And the first show I want to talk about is the O.C. And this show ran from 2003 to 2007. It had 4 seasons during its run. It aired on Fox. Isn't that crazy how this is the only teen drama show that, like, from my knowledge, that aired on Fox, the TV show, the show where it's just mostly comedies? I think that's weird. And this show was pretty popular during its run. This show was airing right around the time One Tree Hill was airing. Dawson's Creek was still on TV. Degrassi, The Next Generation was still popular at this time. So these shows were kind of like in a really big competition. So I really just want to give it a rundown of the show. I recently just got into it like not too long ago. I rewatched it so many times. I really love the show. So I personally just want to talk about some things from the show, and this will be like a part 1 and part 2 type of series. I don't want to put everything in one big video because it would just get way too long. So I'm just going to break it down. And the first 2 things I want to talk about is the pilot and the characters. Starting off with the pilot. The pilot is pretty much self-explanatory. It's a really simple pilot, but still very effective in its own way. In a pilot, we mean Ryan Atwood and his brother Trey. They stole a car and they hijacked it, and they end up getting caught by the police. Trey ends up getting time because he was 20 years old and he already had a very criminal record. Ryan, on the other hand, has not. This is his first time in juvenile detention. He's very rough. He's always getting in fights, but at the same time, Ryan is very smart, and he comes from a very dysfunctional family household. His mom is alcoholic, and she has very abusive boyfriends that beat her and her sons, and she's always out of work. So Ryan, in the mix of that, Ryan meets Sandy Cohen, a lawyer. He's very generous, very sweet, very compassionate, and very empathetic towards Ryan. He tells Ryan that if he needs anything, he can just call him and he'll try to figure out what to do for him. Ryan ends up going back home to his mom. She told him that she couldn't take it anymore with him and Trey was getting into trouble. So she kicked Ryan out. She told him that she wants him out, and Ryan left. He didn't have a place to stay, so he called Sandy. Sandy ends up picking him up and taking Ryan to Orange County, and this is a new, different type of world Ryan has never seen before. It's more rich. It's more a prep from where Ryan came from, and he meets Zeph. They become very close friends. He meets Marissa, the love of his life, and he meets Summer, the love of Zeph's life. And this is where Ryan's world just becomes not upside down, but very settled and very healthy with the Coens. And I think this plot is very, like I said, very simple, but still very effective, because Ryan and Zeph end up getting into a fight, and Kirsten thinks that Ryan is just a very bad influence, even though Zeph doesn't have any friends. Ryan is his real only friend, and they become they bond very quickly, and even though they are very opposites, they seem to really understand each other, and it's like really a cute. I really love the dynamic. I think they're a dynamic that no one really talks about, even though they're not really brothers. They're like really close best friends that no one really talks about. I think I really love the dynamic. And Marissa is a girl that he just is so captivated by. She's very mysterious yet very troubled. He helps her after he sees her drunk on her lawn, completely passed out. Her own boyfriend, Luke, didn't even drive her home. Summer, some other girl did. And it's just very interesting. And then at the end of the episode, when him and Zeph get in a fight, Kirsten wants him out. And they end up going back to his house, only to find out that his home was empty and it looked like his mother just moved out and completely forgot that she kicked out her son. So the plot is very effective. What I really love about the pilot is that it's showing you that there's so much more out there than where you come from. It's kind of like if you're it's kind of like if you're someone who never really been anywhere besides where you've been your whole life. Like me, for example, I've never been anywhere besides Cleveland, and it's kind of depressing because I get so upset when I hear about other people's traveling plans, and I just feel like I want to go somewhere outside of Cleveland. And like I'm 20 years old, about to be turned 21 in February, and I just feel like I just want to travel more. I want to see more of the world. So I think that's a big bucket list for me is to see more of the world. But this isn't about me. But kind of like for that, for example, there's so much more out there than where you think you know. And I think that's why this plot is so effective with Ryan because he's seeing a different type of world with the rich and the up and people live. There's parties, there's galas, there's a nice school that can help him get into college, get him a ways to get into college. There's sports, things to get him into, hobbies besides fighting and always getting into trouble. And I think another reason people can relate to it is because if you ever had a bad home life, just very dysfunctional and just very not healthy, there's always someone out there who can be your helping hand and lift you up and put you in a better environment. So I think that is just so realistic about the plot too. I really love the plot. I thought it was really great. I would say it's way better than Gossip Girl's pilot. Um, I might get hate for that, but the Gossip Girls pilot is phenomenal. That show might be next after this, so y'all wait for it. Gossip Girl will be coming up. I have a lot to say about that show. That's my motherfucking show. Right after One Tree Hill, Gossip Girl is my favorite show. Right after One Tree Hill, but I would say this pilot is way better in my opinion. So now we talked about the pilot. Let's talk about the characters in this show. Um, let's talk about these characters. I'm going to talk about the teenagers first, and then I'm going to talk about the adults. And the only adults I'm going to talk about is Sandy, Kirsten, Julie, and that's it. Because they're really the only real important adults in this series. So first, we're going to talk about the teenagers. Starting with Ryan Atwood himself. I love Ryan. I think he's a great protagonist. A lot of people, not even a lot of people, because this show, even though it's been out for like 20 years, it's still very new to people. Like I didn't even know the show existed until I saw it on Hulu, and I was completely hypnotized by it. It's still very new to people, but this guy on YouTube, I completely forgot his YouTube name. He said that Ryan was very boring, and I completely disagree. Ryan is a character that you learn so much from. If you watch season 1 Ryan and season 4 Ryan, he is not the same Ryan anymore. He has grown up, he has matured, he is not the kid anymore that came from that dysfunctional household with his dysfunctional mom or any of that. He is a complete different Ryan. He has goals now, he has things that he wants to do, he has a family now, he has true love and true support from people around him, unlike before. People who just kept tearing him down and kept reminding him of that place that he didn't want to be or that he wanted to get out from. I think Ron is a great character. I love Ben McKenzie. I loved him in Gotham. I love that show. And I loved him in this. I thought he was a great actor. I think he was a great actor in here. Ryan was really good. I loved his storylines. The stuff with him, Marissa, great. The stuff with Oliver, oh my gosh, phenomenal. The stuff for Trey, oh my god, just so good. His storyline in season 3 on trying to focus on his anger and not trying to always release shit, I thought that was really great. But just like all these characters, a lot of their storylines started to really go down during the last 2 seasons, which we'll get into. We'll get into the seasons, but I feel like, and Ryan's not the only victim of this. Everybody is. Everyone's storylines really started to become really like in the last 2 seasons. But I really love Ryan's storylines in like the first 2, and then that storyline in season 3 was like good about his anger. And I love the storyline too with the baby, even though I think the reveal of that was lame, but I did love it in season one. I thought it was good. So I love Ryan. Moving on to the next character, my girl Marissa Cooper. She is really a character that people just really love to hate. And you know what? When I first watched the show, I thought Marissa was annoying as fuck. But that was really the young me. I really got into the show like around late junior year. Like I was probably like what 16. I'm 20 now. So my perspective has really changed about Marissa's character, and I think you've already heard me talk about her already on YouTube. So I'm gonna try to keep what I say about her very brief. I already made a video about her why I think she did not deserve to die. I already made a video about why season 3 sucked, discussing Marissa. I really love Marissa. I feel like she's a great female character. I feel like Josh really took the girl next door trope and he kind of amped it up and gave it a little bit more juice, saying that the girl next door isn't always perfect. She isn't always beautiful. She could always be a damaged girl from afar. Sometimes you gotta read the book to know a few pages, to know a few storylines. That's kind of what it is with Marissa, is that she is the girl next door type, but she isn't your typical girl next door. Like, she's got all this pressure on her about who she's supposed to be, who she's supposed to date, this perfection bubble because of how she's raised. She's got substance abuse problems. She's not always having the best relationships with guys or her family, except for Ryan. But like, she's a very complex character. I just really feel like they really took her rebellious side a little bit too far and never just gave her a chance to breathe. That's why I really hate season 3, because they just really just amped it up to like 10,000 with her. Like, it was just irritating. Like, I really loved her. I thought Misha was the best actor on the show. No one compared to Misha. All of her scenes, whether she's sad, but like just plain acting, Misha was giving it her all in these scenes. I thought Misha was the best actor on the show. I love Misha. I love Marissa. Her storylines were hands down the best in the show. She was a great character. I don't care what no one says. Yeah, she might have her moments of being a little bit annoying, but like just plain out unlikable, I disagree. Marissa had a big heart. She was always there for people. She never judged anybody. She gave everybody a chance. Just that rebellious side, that dark side, really teared her down. And I really hate the writers to this day for killing her off, but I know there was a lot more stuff going on back behind the scenes with that, on her wanting to leave the show, but I just felt like she should have stayed. I love Marissa's character, and you could really feel that her presence affected the show a lot in season 4. Like, her not being there really, really affected season 4 in a lot of ways. But we gotta talk about Marissa. She was a great character. I don't care what no one says. The best actor on the show, period. Our next character is Zeph Cohen, and you know what? I really love Zeph in like the first 2 seasons. I thought he was witty. I really loved his geekiness, like, cause I'm into Marvel and DC. You know, things that people say is like geeky. I really love Marvel and DC. I'm not an anime fan. I don't watch anime. That shit is a little bit too stretchable for me. Water break. Like I said, anime is a little bit too stressed for me. But I really love Zeph. I thought he was very witty. I thought he was very funny and like extremely awkward, but like in a very cute way. I thought Adam Brody was perfect for the role because he just looks like I don't want to say he looks like a nerd. I think that's going a little bit too into a stereotype, but like he kind of fit the perception of what people just think is a nerd. He has the curly hair. He wears the cargo pants and the vest. Like, he was just really adorable, and I really loved him in the first 2 seasons. But what really pissed me off with his character is that his character became so obsessed with Summer, is that they completely forgot what made him interesting in the first place, and that was his wittiness and his quirkiness and his nerdy side. The writers completely forgot about all that and just made him completely, utterly obsessed with Summer. And honestly, I don't really care for the relationship that much like other fans do. I think the relationship is really a waste of time. I think Dan and Serena had a relationship that Josh wanted Zeph and Summer to have. I think Dan and Serena is by far a better opposite attract couple than Zeph and Summer. I love them in the first season, but I did not like them in seasons 2, 3, or 4. I was really over them. Uh, so that's what I would say about Zeph. Like he really wasn't the same character anymore in seasons 3 and 4. He didn't really have. I think out of all of them, I think no. I think Summer has no. You know what? Out of all four of them, Zeph and Summer have the least interesting storylines. They don't have enough storylines really focused on them. And I think that was kind of always a problem too, is that they don't really have enough storylines focused on them. Except for season 2, when they gave Zeph that storyline with that girl Alex, which I thought was just really ridiculous. But I think they try to make it really funny by making him a bad boy. But it was funny, but just like, really? No. So that's Zeph. On to the boring one, Summer. She is like literally the least interesting character in the entire show. Summer is so uninteresting. The only good thing about her is her and Marissa's friendship. That's it. Summer is so boring. She doesn't have no real character traits, no real hobbies. I just feel like, why is Steph so obsessed with her? She's like bland as hell. Like, she's so bland. She has a personality of this fucking poster. Don't look down in my room. Like, she has the personality of this poster. Like, at least my posters have a purpose, but she has no purpose for this show. I think her being in this show is just really like I think that kind of really fed into that whole male gaze thing with Summer, is that everybody wants her, but it's kind of like the whole male gaze thing. Like, the man sees an attractive woman, but the woman that they seek has no personality. Which, if your type is no personality, no characteristics, do you, by all means, do you. For me personally, I can't get behind a character or a person in real life with no inch of a personality, no inch of charisma, no interest of anything. Nothing was interesting about Summer. I thought she was just so uninteresting. Not one interesting storyline focused on her character. Nothing. She's like the least complex character in the show. Literally, nothing about her interesting remotely. So that's the core four. Moving on to the adults, let's talk about Sandy. I really love Sandy. I thought he was really great. I think he was exactly what Ryan needed in his life. And I thought he was just really good for Ryan. Not really a lot of bad things to say about Sandy. I thought he was a really great human being. Kind of like him too, a lot of the characters just really stopped having important things to do as the seasons went up. It just felt like they were all just kind of exhausted being on the show. So yeah. And next character is Kirsten. Honestly, Kirsten was cool for the most part. She's another character too behind Summer that I just feel like she's cool. But you know what? I'll give the actress her props for that alcoholic storyline in season 2. The actress gave it her all. I don't even know her real name. I think her real name is Kelly something. But Kirsten did her motherfucking job in season 2 with that alcoholic storyline. That storyline was so good. Oh my god, the storyline was so good. The scene where they all get her the intervention, that was a great scene. The scene when her and her dad Caleb talked in the kitchen, oh my god, such a great scene, such a great acting scene. I don't care what anybody says, that was great acting. Like, you cannot tell me that if you watch that scene did not have you like I was completely glued to the screen when I watched it. Like, just great acting. Like, her and Sandy had a great storyline in season 2. it's just like right after season 2, they just kind of made them like they're kind of their characters. Like they're just the parents. They don't really get enough on them, which you know what is fine. But it's like you give them all that in season 2, to not give them nothing in season 3. Like I don't care about Sandy taking over the Newport group. I don't care about like why would they try to have Kira and Sam become an alcoholic again to get Sandy's attention? I thought that was just really like toxic and like what the fuck. So you see what I'm talking about? But I thought she was cool, but like she's not Sandy. She's not Sandy. Um, the next character is Julie. I hate her like with a fucking passion. Like I never, ever, 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 ever like Julie. She talks too much. She's judgmental. She's fake. She's annoying. She's just so irritating, and I feel like they never like I feel like at the end of the show, she never really changed. I feel like she was still doing the same old shit she did in season 1, just doing dumb shit for money. And like it just was like irritating. Like I feel like her character kind of overstayed her welcome a little bit. It just got really annoying. Like I'm thinking like by season 4, why is she still here? Like what? She's still here. Like ugh. And oh my god, when we talk about the seasons, you guys, like I'm about to go ham on these seasons. Like I'm not even gonna play with y'all. Like I'm gonna go really in depth about these seasons. I already ranked them from worst to best. Season 3 and 4 being the worst seasons, and seasons 1 and 2 being the best. But there it is, my topic video on this will be part 1 on characters in the pilot. Part 2 will be about, and I don't know what I'm gonna make. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all because I'm like super busy with work. I work Tuesdays through Fridays, and I only get Saturdays and Sundays and Mondays off. So that might be my only time to really do videos now is through the weekend, since I'm really working during the day. If I have the energy to make a video during the day, I will. But if I don't, just hang in there with me. But the next video is going to be about storylines and seasons. So that will be part 2. Thanks for listening. As always, love you guys for supporting me. Thanks for hanging in there and being patient with me. As always love and always support. Subscribe and comment down below on how you feel about the OC if you have not watched it, and if you have, please let me know in the comments. Bye.